we have Daisy Magazine. You know, Daisy Magazine a royalty in space now. Well, for me, anyway, I don't know about it. For me, as somebody who may appreciate our perspective and our opinion on what is actually happening. I'm sorry, so she never have her own platform, to be quite honest with you. But I guess, you know, whatever job she has and her lifestyle doesn't permit. But sometimes she come on Mystic Sensation and she will call in here and there. And, you know, Daisy, if you are listening, Mama Daisy, magazine, the word is love. Big up yourself.
First pen. Caller, you've been holding. Go ahead.
Yeah, hi, Colin. Welcome back. You were sorely missed, and so
Oh,
we're
gosh.
happy to have you back.
Happy to be here
But
too.
in a nutshell, New Falmouth Resorts is a shell company. You can go do the research and stuff. Because the amount.
So now Daisy Magazine confirm again that it's a shell company. Jamaica, yo, this no look good, eh? How far does this web of corruption really go? I really want some good lawyers to be on the case with these people. We want a story and unravel all of the dirty laundry that I believe it has. So we have somebody say, how long is the owner supposed to wait? They were supposed to compensate the owner after illegally building on the property. Follow the timeline of the court case. Alright, so you are talking about that. What about the fact that the PMP decided to step in to get the land and make the people have the land and compensate the owner? That case ended in 2016. It was thought that the Jamaica Labour Party was supposed to carry that case on to the Privy Council on behalf of the people of Jamaica. Why does the PMP defend the people and the Jamaica Labour Party don't defend them? But now they want to come running with tarpaulin figure the people in the same structure, the same space for them did there. The hypocrisy of it all. You should be ashamed of yourself. Anakin Skywalker to come into my listen, man, you're probably one of them uptown people, you know. And enough of them uptown people are thief land too, you know. Sorry, adversely possessed lands, you know. And then father and then mother built upon it for years and it gone down to for them people, you know. Yes, the owners have rights, but the government could have come in. How you have one property and somebody live upon it for 40 years? There is something in the law, say for big up yourself. There is something in the law that is permitted for adverse possession. That is a part of the law as well. So if you're on the land for 12 years, you can adversely possess the land legally. So when you're coming to me and talking to me about rights, talk about all the rights. If you do not occupy the land and run the land, for the land be useful, government will take away from it, you know. Nobody owns land in Jamaica, you know. It's like we are going like say we don't know that. Nobody truly owns land in Jamaica. That is why there's an opportunity for you to adversely possess it. Because if the land is just there being wasteful, when it could have used for something productive, even the government can take it away. Of course, so you go for the land, start pay tax and adversely possess it. So if the government wanted taxes, all they had to do was regularize the people. Nobody wants to, the labor right them we are trying to defend the labor right party, you know, don't want to admit that there's an option for the people to get regularized by the government. Why aren't you pushing that? Why are you pushing for people to be homeless? Persons that have been on our land for 12 years, 30 years, 40 years. Why are you pushing for them to be homeless? How cruel are you, Anakin Skywalker? The audacity. Let's continue. The audacity of these people.
And there was no money paid for the land by the Chisholms. It is there in black and white. The records are there. Anyway, that aside.
So now you still argue. You must be one a liar. Let me play something for you. Me I go indulge your foolery. Just to make this a teachable moment again. Listen to this.
The following is a release from the People's National Party Media Unit.
This is Dennis Meadows, People's National Party Constituency Chairman for Trelawney Northern. Early Tuesday morning, bulldozers tore through the community of Cooper's Pen, and by daybreak, 20 homes were gone. More than 40 of my fellow residents of Trelawney are now sleeping under tents with nowhere else to turn. Here is what most people don't know. Back on May 1, 2012, the Ministry of Housing under the People's National Party government of Portia Simpson Miller placed a caveat on the title for the lands at Cooper's Pen. That caveat is still here today. It means nobody can deal with this property without the consent of the sitting Minister of Housing. Nobody can deal with this property without the consent of the sitting Minister of Housing. Nobody can deal with this property without the consent of the sitting Minister of Housing. Nobody can deal with this property without the consent of the sitting Minister of Housing. And that minister is no greater person than the Honorable Prime Minister, Andrew Holness.
Argument done. Argument done. From that time there. Nobody can do nothing with the land without the authority of the government. They are talking about private land like the government powerless. They are not powerless. And if you continue, I'm going to play the next tape again. If you talk about the act where they can use to stop all demolition immediately. That is also a law. Since as they love the law, there's a law to protect both parties. Not destroy one and protect one. Alright, so we're going to block you. Because you see no more arguments. You start talking about Olu's case. And that is one simple thing. We can't argue that all day because the JLP don't win one constitutional case in a court against the PNP. Moving on.
Who is going to protect the Jamaicans who have lost their lands to former members of parliament?
You're one sentence away from launching your website.
Talk up the things them, Daisy. I have to repeat that question.
That aside, stuff because the amount of owners it changed and there was no money paid for the land by the Chisholms. It is there in black and white. The records are there. Anyway, that aside, who is going to protect the Jamaicans who have lost their lands to former members of parliament, current members of parliament, former ministers of government, current ministers of government who have used their power and proximity to power to steal lands from Jamaicans because these lands are prime real estate? This is happening because some people who own thousands of acres of land and say they pay $1 per acre. Colin, that's so not true. And because people who own thousands of acres of land and say they pay $1 per acre. Colin, that's so not true.
The Charles family will say them pay $1 per acre land. Who do believe that? Who do not believe that some type of criminality is involved? How you get land so cheap? $1. $1. And people want to talk to me about, the long time, big people up in a society, politician a thief, long time. I never say Charles them a thief, and I say, oh, you get $1 for 1 acre. It's more, it's palpable. It is in the realm of possibility that some skullduggery go on. That not straight. And that's my opinion. I think that's a fair question. As soon as this man going to politics, he just get rich, so wealthy and own so much land. Pernell Charles, Senior. People want to tell me about oh, that's people property and rate. Ask the people them at St. Thomas. What Charles family do to them. Because them have government and them have the money and they know the law. Ask them. The horror stories.
And because people don't have the money to challenge them, they can school.
Bingo! Hey, Daisy, come like me listen to this before. Because people don't have the money to challenge them. And sometimes people don't know them rights neither. They are bullied out of their properties. These are things that we call sharks do, you know. Cut short. People like we call it? Well, capitalists. Cut short. Them ready to scam out of your property at any means necessary. Remember good no man? It happens all around the world.
Up their land, and the children and the children's children of those persons who originally own the land have no say. It is happening.
And then people are talking about court case. It come like a one part of court case. You don't ever hear about the part of court case where the son for the man who own the land in a Cooper spend. The care, the administrator general got court because him have a will and a them own the land. You don't never hear that the part about owner. And there's people, it is also out there that there's people on the land that is a part of that family. But we have people like Anakin, whatever she want to come in my chat. Anna can come defend private ownership and all that nonsense when she don't know the intricacies, the finer details, but the entire case. Just what the government presented to her and she believe, or maybe she's a part of the government. Maybe she's one of the agents that them pay for come on people platform for chat foolishness. Because them then are in war room, you know, and them know this look bad. And they know so we not let it go. Because every day something new come up.
So many lawyers and judges who are stealing lands and using their power and their access to steal lands from Jamaicans. And then when they kick them off these lands and say they're going to build hotels on these lands and use them for all kinds of development, where are these people supposed to go? Where are they supposed to take their children and their grandchildren and their children to come? So it is a bigger issue than just Cooper's Pen.
And thank you so much, C-Jam. That is an excellent point. Even if it was private ownership, they could have made preparations for the people to move into a different location for equal or more value. Period. That is it, my general. So the stance of the Jamaica Labour Party and its supporters is that everybody that is on Scotland, and if you got some Labour right upon Scotland too, you know, everybody that is on Scotland, ladies and gentlemen, this is the right way to do it. Get them off. Kick them off. Nick down them out. We'll make them be homeless. There are 700,000 people on Scotland. And if the government should have the authority or the capacity to bulldoze all of them in one day, that would be 700, or even in phases, that would be 700,000 people homeless with nowhere to go. This is what the Labour right them talk out of their mouth for defend. Foolishness, you know. And they don't do the math, you know, because are fully done. This is a precedent being set. And if you're on the wrong side of history, where you are defending this nonsense, I'm telling you, it might happen to you or your family member. Then. Yeah, man. Yeah, man.
And no Jamaican is a squatter. Because if anybody call Jamaicans are squatter, the Prime Minister like to call them squatters and Minister Montague, then they are squatters themselves. You cannot call a Jamaican a squatter.
It's a disrespect.
Because all these people...
It's disrespectful
totally
to
disrespectful.
be calling the Jamaicans squatters on land that we should get. And that's why I said to you, caller, land reparation is a must. The government of Jamaica, those lands that people are on, that are government land, need to go in now, cut up the land them.
Me agree with, me know exactly where I say. Me play that back.
People them is a must. The government of Jamaica, those lands that people are on, that are government land, need to go in now, cut up the land them, give the people them title for them, charge them $2,000 a month until the land are paid for. Peppercorn price for the land.
Colin, that's not a new policy. Michael Manley did it in the 7 with his land lease program.
It's not just Michael Manley do it. PJ Patterson do it. Hold on. Hold on. Let me give you a personal example. The first piece of land I buy in my life was up a place called Fairhill Estate in East Portland. It was a squatter, where you call squatter settlement, where whole heap of people just go live on that. And there was issues from time to time. UDC used to go in and maybe mash up one house here, so mash. PJ Patterson say, you know what? Let's cut up these lands. The people who live on them got first preference to buy the piece where they live on. Some of them buy it and sell it. Some of them buy it and keep it. And then additional lands, teachers get, nurses get, I get peace. That is the PNP for you. Fairhill Estate in East Portland was what is referred to as a squatterland. And there's a next piece just across from there. And at PNP won the election, that would also be cut up and sold to the people who live there. You don't need to bulldoze the people them. A government land, our land, a land where Paul Bogle them march, got Spanish Town and dead for blood, sweat, and tears of our 4 parents. Andrew Holness, the blood of God is against you.
Yes, and thank you for ventilating that, because they are behaving like it's an exercise in futility to cut up the land and regularize the people on the land. And had they continued when they won the election in 2016, where the Portia Simpson administration left off with regard to Cooper's Pen, then they wouldn't have to demolish the land and destroy their people. And the thing that stood out to me was that 3-days-old baby whose life started in such a way. It is despicable. It is despicable. And the thing is, Colin, when you have the NHT no longer has the power to build out local low-income housing, and you hear the Prime Minister asking the private sector to do that. No, that was the duty of the NHT. And there are too many people sitting in the parliament who are developers. So these private entities and these prime real estate, they are gobbling them up because they have the information at their fingertips. And
it's called, this is what I would call it. I would call it economic nepotism, specifically, because everything is in the office of the Prime Minister regarding the land and development. And you have many members of parliament that are developers. So what you have now, it is a bottleneck of all of these people getting smooth channels to just get wealthy. Favors. Amen? Right? Crazy, bro.
the Jamaican people are suffering as a result, and to say that to absolve themselves of any responsibility is a farce. And given that they have an aversion to truth, nothing they say is believable.
Really?
Because
they cannot be trusted, ladies and gentlemen. They cannot be trusted, I'm telling you.
No way the Prime Minister.
Hold on for me. Yeah. Go ahead, Carla. Finish it.
Yes, there's no way the Prime Minister and the Member of Parliament can sit in their ivory towers and say they know nothing about it. It's a lie from the pit of hell, because they have been using the same playbook of using the law enforcement to demolish people's houses on government property. Why is this any different?
Emotional damage.
Keep up the good work, and God bless Walston Hyman.
Yeah, man. Ralston is here with us.
Ladies and gentlemen, that was Daisy Magazine that oftentimes go on Mystic Sensation platform. Lady Daisy, honor every time. And I agree with every single word she's saying. And also the sentiments of Colin Bell. And Jonas, the blood of Jesus is against you. You cannot escape judgment. There's a fear in this land. And a God alone can take you down. And that will happen sooner than later. There's a wicked guy. Evil, wicked guy.